Hello, internet. How's everybody doing? Long time haven't recorded. I think it's been like 9 days. I don't know. I shot a little tiny video yesterday. Just a little something I made for the princess. She had wanted pizza, so I thought I did it relatively quick. Ran to the store in the bike. That was about like 10-15 minutes, and then made the pizza, which was about another 20 minutes because I had to preheat. The oven that we have is not a full range oven, like it's not like a big old oven that you just stuff a turkey in. It's split in two. The lower half is a little bit bigger than the top half. It's not a full. It's not like even a medium range oven. It's like between like a mini oven and like a mid range oven. So the instructions say preheat to 400 and put in there for 20 minutes, but 14 suffices on this particular flavor. This was a for me. She's been asking for the for me lately, as opposed to the pepperoni. Anyways, not much going on over here. Just wanted to say hi to everybody out there, let everybody know I'm still doing well, still taking my meds. I just stopped posting about it because the person who I did it for, she seemed to be doing well, and that's all that mattered. That's what I did it for. I mean, and of course it's for myself too, but once you start once you create habits, we're creatures of habits. Once it's a habit, you pretty much just have it down, whatever. Then the fact that I need them, because if not, I'd be all over the place. Yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about that I had on my mind the other day was about I mentioned things in videos past, and I just wish that I was wrong, like about the things that I mentioned that were not too good, and then it turns out that they ended up happening. I mean, I don't wish for that stuff to happen. I don't wish nothing bad to happen to anybody. And the things I mentioned about, I give praise to somebody or something, and then it turns out that I might have been incorrect about that, whatever. But at the end of the day, we're all just human beings. I mean, we do judge because like I said, how it says we're created in the image of the Creator. The Creator judges, so we're essentially going to judge whether we realize it or not. It's just how much energy we want to focus on it. Do you want to, I mean, you're going to pass judgment no matter what, because you're a human being. Do you want to, like, contemplate and like, think that your judgment has any weight? Or do you want to just, like, say, oh, what? Like, not even pay attention to yourself and just let it go? That's completely up to you, how you want to look at people. Or yourself, too. People just tend to judge themselves. It's normal, we're human beings. Other than that, everything's been doing well. I do have to show you guys an update on Survivor. There is a little tiny hint of green coming out, which I saw the other day. Now, I must confess, I've been neglecting my avocado trees a little bit. They need to be planted. I gotta find somebody that really wants an avocado tree on their property. I had a plan on giving one to my buddy in the memory of his sister. She's alive, but she's going through some troubles, and she's a good friend of mine. And he also seems to be into plants. He just happened to have the same flower on his aloe plant that we had gotten on ours, that I picked thinking it was a damn weed, like an idiot. Oh goodness, I think I mentioned this before. And the princess did the FAST test yesterday. I think Florida Assessment for Student Thinking test. There was 2 sections. There was a reading, and then the math. They separated. In her grade, she did one on Wednesday and then one on Friday. She did good on both. Thank goodness for that. I'm happy for her. I try to tell her to enjoy it, which I know it kind of like, maybe to her it sounds kind of like ironic, or like how would you enjoy something like that? But I try to tell her that, you know, you gotta be grateful for everything. And that's another thing too that I try to like. I think I'm gonna start doing from the rest of my videos. I'm just gonna try to ask all of you guys out there who are watching, you know, if you may try to be grateful, because one thing I realized that if you have someone in your life that does not have a grateful heart, essentially it's going to be next to impossible to make that person happy, and they're always going to be kind of like cup is half empty, and it's very stressful, like mentally after a while, because dealing with that like day by day, no matter what you do. And then even though your actions show one thing, like if like some people are, I don't know, maybe they weren't hugged too much when they were kids or something, or they weren't told I love you enough. I try to hug my daughter every day to the point where she gets annoyed by it and she doesn't want me to do it to her anymore, and she gets bothered. But I do it with the incentive so that she knows that she's loved and she's cared for. I've even gone to the point where I'll ask her first. I'm like, can I give you a little hug, please? I would say you have a choice. You can get a hug or a kiss. But, I don't want to, how do I say it? I don't want to show neglect. I want to be there for her. I mean, I know I may not be the best at it. Nobody's really good at it. Nobody's like prepared to like be able to talk to their children, I don't think. I mean, maybe some people, are good at it. People who maybe higher levels of education, or maybe interact a lot with children, maybe teachers and stuff like that. But you'd be surprised how many teachers out there don't have kids. They just they have their classroom with their kids, and after that they go home and they don't have any kids. I'd say probably about a good 40 to 50% of them. That's just my wild estimate guess. I could be completely wrong. Anyway, so today's Monday, the 22nd of May of the year 2023. The time is approximately 1600, 1700 hours, give or take. New Hampton is playing Leicester, which is a very important game, because if Leicester wins, they might knock out Everton into the relegation zone, which will be the first time in the history of the first division English soccer where Everton is going to be not in first division. Everton is one of like the handful of teams, not even, it's like 4 of them, well maybe a handful, that have never been in the relegation zone. That's why last year was crazy. On the last game, even though they were like just fighting to stay in in the Premier League, on the last game of the season, when they finally like earned their spot to be in the Premier League the next season, they celebrated that like it was a final. Just like yesterday, how everybody went on the crowd, all the fans, because yesterday was their last home game and they already won by points, the league, Man City. And it was just, last year when I saw that, it was amazing. They had that coach. I think he was like an interim coach, but then they made him full time. I think he got replaced. I don't know, but we'll wait and see. They're up there right now. As of right now, it was like close to the 80th minute. It was still 0-0. Southampton 0, Leicester 0. They're playing over at or Northampton. Well, I forget the name of it. Southampton, Northampton. It's the team that's in 4th place right now. So you'd think they'd be winning against Leicester, who's in 18th at their home field, but I don't know. Let's try to see if we can get a peek, and after that, I'm gonna say bye to everybody out there. All right, let's see. Oh no, it looks like it ended. What was the final score? Clinched top 4. Okay, so the results stayed, because I remember they said that the results stayed. It's Newcastle. I apologize to everybody out there. Newcastle, not Southampton or whatever. Newcastle is now in UEFA for next season, and if they clinch to the top 4 finish, that means that the game ended 0-0. I'm sorry for all the Americans watching this. who do not like soccer because a lot of the games end 0-0. But you know, this is how it is. So that means that Everton right now, if they win their next game, which is the 38th game of the season, or the last, which is next week Sunday, and they just have to win. If they win and Leicester wins also, Everton still stays in in the Premier League. However, if they lose and Leicester wins, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be the first time in history, and I'm talking about the English soccer league's been around for like over 100 years. I believe it's going to be the first time in history that they get sent to second division soccer over in the UK. All right. Well, thank you for everybody. May you please try to have a grateful heart, and may everybody please be kind to one another, and may you please have peace and love in your hearts. Thank you for watching. Bye.